Hello everybody and welcome back to Erlengrot. Start the video with a time lapse of the first day of early spring, doing some field work on our former sunflower fields. As you saw, we had already put lime down on those, so they are now properly pH'd, if you will. We had previously applied manure and I think slurry to those fields, although we'll just go ahead and check on that right now. That was 4 and 24. So yeah, they are fully fertilized, and they're going to have corn in them this coming year. Still too cool to plant our corn. What we will be doing is we're going to be doing today is it is time to take our beef cattle, our bulls, our male Holsteins that we have been keeping for about a year. Well, it's about time to take them to market, and it's also time to get rid of our sunflowers. But before we do that, we once again have to do our morning chores, take care of our animals. See, we have worked down our hay stack and straw stack pretty good. We have not yet gotten into the other two hay stacks on the other side of the barn. We'll probably be able to make hay if we needed to here in a little bit. Whoops, what am I doing? These are straw bales. They go here. So we haven't quite burned through the hay as I was thinking we might, but our hay usage is going up. Our straw usage is going up, and our silage usage is going up as these calves mature. Once we have finished mixing up our load of mixed rations, I want to show you basically what the projected annual food needs are for both of these barns. And our ladies over here in this barn, they have been, well, many of them have given birth a second time. So we have just about filled up our calf barn. And we have a vast majority of those calves are female. I think we might have a dozen males to take to market today. Oh, this should top us off. And I've got more straw and hay out, because I think we're going to have to mix up a second load of mixed rations. We've been having to do 2 loads of mixed rations most days now. We're not quite feeding 2 full loads, but we are coming pretty darn close doing that. All right, let's take a look here at our feed requirements. So we are over 1 million liters of food needed for our main cow barn here. We've got 6 calves we need to move back over there. These little ladies are now 4 years old. We've got 177 calves over in our calving barn. They're requiring 730,000 liters of feed per day or per year. So 1.7 million liters of mixed rations per year is the current estimate. Of course, we're still calving, and well, the calves are growing. So their food requirements are just going to be going up and going up. So while we have the apparent excess of hay right now, I don't want to get into a shortage, and we will need to put in another shed at some point. I am hoping we can go through one more harvest before we do that. And if we sell 12 of our beef cattle today, then that'll free up a little bit of room. We are down to under 350,000 liters of silage. You can see there are 336,000 liters of silage at this point. Bad camera position. And I think I already talked about it a little bit in a previous video. We're getting less milk than I was expecting because of the cows here going and getting impregnated a little bit earlier than I was expecting. I honestly was not expecting over the course of 2 and a part years to have our cows go through 2 calving cycles. I honestly thought there was going to be about a year in between for some reason. And while the cows are basically gestating, I think that's the right term, they are not producing milk. Therefore, we lose milk production for a pretty significant portion of time. That's why we only have $125,000. We really haven't been able to buy any additional land. I have to admit, it's been a few days or longer since I recorded the last video that you guys have seen. We own field 7 and 20. Those were the last two fields that we acquired. Now, I am hoping that we are going to be able to pick up at least one more field today. What I'm looking for is I'm looking for the oldest males, close to a year old. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And our females here, it is going to be another year before they are able to be impregnated, and then basically after 9 months post artificial insemination, then they'll be producing milk also. So growing a large dairy farm, kind of from your initial dare I say seed cows to be really kind of self-sustaining with respect to your livestock is a pretty long-term investment. And we really have zero use for male Holsteins. They're not going to produce us any milk. And we don't have natural reproduction in the game. So we don't need them for any sort of reproductive act. Let's go ahead and get rid of these guys. So $6,800. And then we will come back here, grab our most recent calves, and put them over in the calving barn. You can see our two large haystacks still. In this group of 6, we've got 4 females and 2 males. That is definitely not the general trend. We've been getting far more females than males. More than a 2-to-1 ratio. Clearly, if we only have about a dozen and a half male cows out of 170 some, back to 176, and let's start at the bottom this time. These are all too young. Here's some of our older ones. 1.1 years. 0.2 years. So there's 1, 2, 3 males. 4, 5. Now let's just see. one there. I'm looking for M's, and I think we've got one that we could sell right there, 800 pounds. Then 0.4 years. Yeah. All right, well, we'll go with these guys for now. These are older cows. They're a bit heavier. They're going to bring a bit more money. Market. They're also going to reduce. Selling these will also now reduce our overall food requirements a little bit. I think I'll leave that one male cow in there for now. That'll be kind of our lucky one. And we'll basically then sell him off next time we sell off a batch of cattle. See what these guys bring in. About $1,500 a piece. A little bit more money. $9,000 about. So all that money is basically free. We didn't buy those cows. Those were all born on the farm. Of course, we could have probably kept them longer. They would have gotten bigger. They would have given us more money. But they would have taken more food. They would have required more straw. So at some point, you kind of got to call it and say that, you know what, you're costing me more than you're worth. The last thing we want to do today is sell off our sunflowers. Technically, the grain mill was giving us a better price a couple days ago, but I was kind of holding out, thinking that maybe we could get a better deal here in mid-spring. That didn't quite work out, but we're still going to make a pretty good penny off of these. Still going to make a pretty good penny. 70,000 liters of sunflowers at $880 a thousand liters at the Felsburn grain mill. I've yet, playing this this map, I have yet to sell grain anywhere other than on the train. Kind of funny. Kind of funny, you think about it. Every time I go to sell grain, the Felsburn grain mill is offering the best price. So as far as future videos go, we still have to plant our sunflowers and our corn, but honestly, I don't think we're going to record that. I think I'm just going to do it. We will be having a canola harvest That's new. We haven't done that. So I think we'll have a canola harvest video. We're going to have, you know, our wheat harvest. We've got baling of straw. I really don't think we're going to need to document any sort of silage collection or hay baling. So I think, I mean, we're running down to the end of videos here. We started this saying we were going to do 3 years, and we are now in mid-spring of the 3rd year. So, you know, and really, there's just a ton of off-camera work to progress the save to a point where, yeah, it's worthy of telling some type of story. We're not doing role play here, but you know, we don't want to just be doing the same thing every few videos, right? As I am selling grain, probably right after I did a grain selling video, right? But anyway, so that is always the struggle, is deciding what is worthy of documenting and putting up there for you guys to watch versus just repeating tasks. Today we're fertilizing the fields. Tomorrow we're going to lime the fields. The next day we're going to cut hay. The next day we're going to bale the hay. The next day we're going to fertilize the grass fields. The next day we're going to harvest this. It's like, yeah, we know the process. We figured the process out. Oh. I mean, maybe you just watch for the accidents. Right? Maybe that's why you watch. That wall of sunflowers really does look cool. So at this point, we've been doing our Kleinhau live stream series for a while now, and I think in 2021, that's probably going to be what we're looking to do a little bit more of, and these types of pre-recorded series we're probably looking to do maybe a little less of, because of time involvement. I could probably easily put in 8 to 10 hours of gameplay on the save to progress the map forward to a point that it's, you know, worthy of doing something and recording. And yeah, the time investment is just not there. I could be spending 10 hours doing something completely else, producing other content, or planning something out, spending more time editing something. Trying to progress this save, get to the point where we're going to do a canola harvest. I have no idea how long that's going to take before we can get to do the canola harvest. It's good. It's a good half hour every game day feeding our animals. So if that's all I do per game day is feed the animals and then fast forward to the next day. That's a good half hour of game time, play time per game day. And if I have to fast forward 6 game days, that is just 3 hours of just feeding animals and fast forwarding and sleeping. Clearly you all don't want to see that. So I'm going to go ahead and just walk down the track here and try to meet the train. And we'll see what we get for our sunflowers from last year. And see if we can't buy another parcel of land. Waiting on our train to fill up here. Nearly done. There we go. And off we go. To Felsburn. I've set the speed limit on the train to 31. I think it's a bit better suited. It's still technically way too fast to be coming through here on, but I think it's a nice happy medium. And typically we would speed up a little bit once we got past this last road crossing. And yes, I would like to do that. $62,000. Nice payday, $202,000. Take a look and see what kind of field we can acquire. We got more canola. We could really double down on our canola. Or we could pick up another wheat field. We've got corn in 19. How much is 19? 19 is $180,000. So we've got corn there. We could pick that up. And there we go. So we will once again lease our soil sampler. Go sample that soil and see what it needs. It probably is going to need. Well, I haven't done any fertilizing contracts, so it's probably going to need fertilizer and probably going to need lime, but we'll just have to see. I'll try to remember to update you all in the next video. So until next time, happy farming. Be sure to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell.